Hello and welcome back to your semifinals. We have two teams, the Hebrews and the late rotations. I will be here, Lokidad, alongside with the one and only LermyWermy. Lermy, what are we seeing here that you are liking?
I am honestly so excited to see what this Erlang Shen gets. I think that is the number one thing in my mind because we see a lot of Erlang Shens typically in the jungler role if we're looking at Conquest, but when it comes to other modes, he can really do anything, right? So just kind of wondering what he'll get up to, that's my number one. But on the other side, well, mine was kind of the same deal.
Yeah, I mean, I love Vamana. I know a lot of people don't like him. Personally, I love him. He's one of my favorite solo laners in the game. He's just very fun to play with. It's enjoyable. One thing that is really catching my eye, however, over here is that Tiamat, Knockup, Atlas, you know, saying the same things. Vamana, yeah. Susano, yeah. Like, they could just knock you up for days.
Yeah, I mean, the only one that's really immune to it on the other side is the Ganesh. He's got the knockup immunity in the Ohm, so he could, use that to be a little fancy with it, but it kind of depends on whatever this Atlas is doing, I feel like. We saw Atlas in round 1, and it didn't really hit the mark, so maybe this time the Atlas will be able to pull through and get him some victories. We'll have to see where the Gamma Ray Bursts come out, because that is a humongous teamfight ultimate that can change the game. But overall, I mean, these teams are pretty even when it comes to the gods.
Yeah, just like you said, looking at the gods, there's not too much difference between them. Everyone's gonna have the capacity to run it down. I gotta give the edge probably to Atlas, though, just simply because, like you said, it's where you place that ultimate. But if you're on the defense and they're sieging on your Phoenix, they jump in, you drop that bad boy down, and what protections?
Right? Ganesh kind of does the same thing, but it doesn't necessarily hit everyone, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the space control, though, because with Atlas, you're free to walk out of it at any time, but Ganesh, you might get stuck in that box, especially if you're looking at this Tiamat. She's already used her jump, something of that nature. Susano might have to cross through it multiple times if he's using his dashes and teleports through everything. It's going to be a little questionable for those guys if this Ganesh gets the sickest pillars of his life.
So place your bets right now. Will we see Gilgamesh? Will we see Ganesh? Are we I don't know why I said Gilgamesh for that. Will we see Ganesh drop Dharmic pillars inside of Atlas's ultimate?
Probably. I would say if there's a team fight going on, those two are both going to be there, or rather they both should be there, right? So to counteract one, there's not really any direct correlation, like the one doesn't counter another per se, but they both do similar things, right? So if they want the similar things to happen at the similar time, you will see probably both of them one after the other, I would imagine.
Now, if Ganesh puts his Dharmic pillars down on a Vamana, am I allowed to say baby in a cage?
I mean...
Or is that only reserved for
no. Odin definitely has a cage. Ganesh is more... Is it a cage? It's more of a box, right?
Yes. It's a playpen.
It's a playpen. Okay, but this Vamana skin that he's using is definitely not a baby. He does use unsavory words in that voice pack. But speaking of voice pack, Diff, we do have to talk about the skin that the Tiamat is using, because that is a pretty good skin, if I do say so myself, with absolutely no bias.
That is a good one. Honestly, do you know who made the voice pack for that plushy Tiamat skin? Because it's got to be one of the best in the games.
It really could be anyone, and so I do have to give a little bit of an edge to the Tiamat versus the Morgan Le Fay, just because that skin diff is going to be a little bit too much.
That's true. Now, when it comes to Tiamat versus Morgan Le Fay, who benefits the least amount from random items?
Oh, it's gotta be Morgan Le Fay, right? Because Tiamat's got that little bit of tankiness in her kit anyway, so she does have to be forced into a little bit of a tank build. She's not too mad about it, right? Because she already is getting into the thick of things with that leap. She's spinning around people to get some more mitigations. I mean, it's really not that bad for the Tiamat, whereas Morgan Le Fay, a little bit more limited in those instances.
Yeah, I think you're really hitting the nail right on the head there. Well, now we're going to be able to get to see what is being built. Erlang Shen is getting an arrow.
Oh,
A cowl is going on to Nemesis. Yes, yes, war flag on Scotty. I can retire happy now.
and with the girdle there as well, that's going to be a fast attacking team. I hope this Erlang Shen is actually going to be able to use those Gilded Arrow stacks for good, but actually what's funny is the Vallana also has a Gilded Arrow, so
I'm
keep
so
close
sad.
eyes on these two. Whoever gets the most gold, you really know who's doing that min-maxing better.
There is a benevolence on 2 gods for late rotations, and neither of them is on Vamana.
So unfortunate.
I'm
so
so
unlucky.
scared.
But, if we go into the Ornate Arrow, Vamana can crit, and that's way funnier.
That is... Oh gosh, please let this be a crit build. I love this. I would love that so much. All right, red buff is going down. It looks like the fight is going off right away. Atlas getting in there to zone anybody out. Erlang Shen turtling in. He is surrounded by all 4. He is going to be able to get out of that one just barely, though. He should be all right now. Both teams go into the respective lanes, going back to drop that speed buff. And we'll see where it goes from there. That was probably one of the most clean fights for the red buff we've seen yet today.
Yeah, it really did seem like late rotations was not late. In fact, they might have been early to that one, and they just did it with little to no contest from the other side. It really was very one-sided. I mean, Coop tried to get in there with Erlang Shen. He's going to be in a bit of danger, but that shell is perfect to
Can the
save the life.
Nemesis
But the
get it?
dash into the slice and dice for first blood. What an excellent rotation by the Nem.
That was a beautiful first blood. That they are definitely not going to be rotating late this game. That was absolutely nuts rotation, being able to... I mean, the Erlang Shen also got away. They were able to put so much pressure on and get that... Nem's going to do it again. I mean, not actually do it again, but look at the pressure. like I said at the start of this, it takes 2 to 3 seconds to rotate from one lane to another for a gank if you're just running. Nemesis has the dash. Nemesis is going to be able to come out of nowhere and gank you. Now, granted, Susanoo will essentially be able to do the same thing, but Nemesis definitely played it a little bit better there.
Yeah, it will take Susanoo just a bit longer because he's got to go through the first 2 parts of his one to be able to actually get there and use that dash. So a little bit less time for the Nemesis to use her movement, but in reality, it really shouldn't be too big of a difference. Really, the one for me is that if Storm Kata gets interrupted by the Ohm from Ganesh, that's going to feel really rough.
It's not going to feel rough at all. It'll feel nothing when he's 5 feet underground. And now it looks like Ganesh is getting pulled in. He's going to be able to run away. He's a tanky elephant, however. Over in the right-hand side, things are heating up. Coop is going to be able to get out, however, with the Erlang Shen. The ultimate really coming in clutch there with the heal. Now we have a big baby in the middle lane, and nothing much is happening other than the red buff is secured by late rotations.
Yeah, they
Very
got that, and
nicely done
Tiamat's
there.
going to pick it up. There's more fighting going on, though, but the knockback into the Dharmic Pillars for the kill. That's also going to be Atlas picking up the Nemesis and throwing her into tower for another one. Blink in there using the teleport from Susanoo, but he's got no mana, so that's got to be the end of his engagement at the very least.
Yeah, just when you think the fight was done, it wasn't, but this time it looks like it is. Mana health low on both teams. A nice 2-for-1 trade back there at the tower. Hebrews are still slightly in the lead, and I mean slightly. I mean, they have the gold lead.
100 gold.
They have the gold lead and the XP lead, but they don't have the kill lead. That's it.
One potion between 5 members in advantage, and now it's going up a little bit higher.
One potion makes the difference. I've
Does
seen
it?
one potion makes the difference. Also, what makes the difference is Nemesis not being behind the entire enemy line. That was a little bit rough to see. Smart.
Indeed.
I don't know, buddy, but you tried your hardest. I give you credit for that.
Yeah, you've got to at the end of the day. But while we have some downtime, I do want to make a note of the relics, especially on the side of late rotations. I mean, we've got a persistent teleport and another teleport. So a lot of moving around the map. Maybe instead of being late, they'll just be teleporting to where they've got to go. So maybe we'll see an extra bit of ward action as well to kind of complement that.
So far, there's a lot of wards down. A lot of wards, I believe 2 for the Hebrews right now. However, it looks like there is one sentry over on the right-hand side where that siege minion is going to spawn. That should really play an effect, and it looks like both teams are setting up for this, as it will be spawning very shortly here, looking for a fight. Neither team really has a good push-up in this lane. It has spawned now, and Susano's going directly for it. It looks like all of late rotations is going over, but this gives the Hebrews a chance to collapse in, and we'll see what's going to happen. Dharmic Pillars is going to go down. There, very nice jump away right there. The Suns are coming. Coop is able to pick one up onto Susano. Coop is able to pick up another one. Oh my gosh. That was an incredibly unfortunate turnaround. Hebrews absolutely controlling that. Atlas also is going to fall. The silence, it comes out. Is Erlang going to be able to get, or not Erlang, Vamana going to be able to get out. Erlang is going to be able to pick up Vamana. Tiamat's coming in, cleaning up Coop, finally shutting him down. Teleport is now coming through on that Susano, as you said. Coming back in, the pull is good, the slice is better. Can he get the last hit? The dash, not quite enough. Will Scotty fall here, and will it be worth it? Because I know the ice,
the body block.
Beautiful. Tiamat is now gonna fall. There's no way. Nemesis coming in, going down. However, Susano's gonna get a return onto that one there. Ganesh is down. Fishboy is back in. What is happening, Lermy? What was that fight?
There were a lot of things to break down about that fight, right? First things first, 2 kills there on the Erlang Shen. Also, the Juggernaut secured. After that, they chased perhaps a little bit too far. Erlang did get a 3rd kill for himself, but by that point, Tiamat's back, comes back through with the teleport, and makes it happen, right? So she's getting in there, does take down the Erlang. Afterward, though, Scotty's getting chased down by the Susano, who also teleported back. But I have honestly never seen a better body block in my life than what that Ganesh did.
That was amazing.
Scotty drops down the ice. Scotty's running over the ice. Ganesh puts himself onto the ice to bounce the Susano back off of him the other direction on the ice.
Like I'm sorry, Corroded should have died.
Oh, for sure.
Corroded should have died.
That was insane play by
that was such a beautiful placement and a nice body block to actually get away with that. Now over on the left side, however, Coop unfortunately is going to be going down. Fishboy is going to be able to pick that one up, and now both teams are kind of standoffing over here. Looks like a fight might be breaking out. Susano is rotating over. No, doesn't look like anything's going to happen. Just a little bit of a standoff.
Yeah, once again, we're back to a little bit of back and forth. No team has much of an advantage now. There's about 500 gold one way or the other, but Calder's been thrown out, pulled back as well by her handler, and now it's really time to see if anyone's willing to full commit. With the Scotty ult down, that might present some opportunities for maybe a gamma ray burst. Nice ricochet though to get some extra damage onto the Scotty.
Very nicely done. Now looking down at the builds right now, Lermy, it looks like Tiamat first item went a nice little gem that I love. Look at that.
Yeah, the Divine Ruin is going to be helping out a lot. And then going into a lifesteal item, could be a soul gem, could be a Bancroft's. I don't think I'm particularly mad at any of those options, but it certainly is not going to be providing much healing in any way. But uh-oh, it's going to be danger time for the Atlas, and he gets stuck straight into the Dharmic Pillars. That's going to be a kill for Hentai Boy, because, I mean, Ganesh can't get kills, but regardless, they'll take it happily.
Definitely. Very nicely done. That was absolutely beautiful placing the pillars down there. The red buff is able to be dropped and secured by Susano for late rotations. Is anyone even going to be able to pick it up, though?
Yeah, that's the question. Susano's trying, but he sees the squad rolling through. That's the Mink from the Erlang Shen, but he's got to be a little careful how deep he goes. He does have the 9 turns blessing if he did want to commit, but I'm glad that he didn't.
Yeah, no, not quite. I thought that Coop was, or not Coop, I thought a Crypto was going to be able to pick up that red buff, but he thought otherwise from going into the mid there unattended with the rest of his team. It looks like now sieging down this T1 tower, they are really pushing this down. They want to get this tower down because the siege Juggernaut is going to be spawning over on the left-hand side. That'll put a lot of pressure for the Hebrews over in this lane. However, Lexo coming through, getting a kill onto Nemesis. Fight is breaking out. The Ohm is coming through. Tiamat spins round and round and round she goes. Who's going to drop? Well, it's going to be Erlang Shen right there, Fish. I'm sorry. Big Baby in the back. Look at everything happen. We have a double kill and now a deicide on the map. Hebrews wanted to run that lane down and late rotation said, nah, man, We got this.
That all started off on the back of Ace Smart making a little bit too deep of a dive, and then it just all turned sour. And also, can we comment on the fact of how Fishboy just absolutely changed the state of that fight with that pull into the Astrolabe? I mean, he stunned 2 of them, knocked the other one back, and then Vamana just rolls through in the big baby, and that's just the end of the fight. I mean, how can you get away from any of that?
Absolutely beautiful. Look at that player damage from the Morgan Le Fay. What is she building right here? We have in the build first item, Spear of Desolation. That is not bad at all.
Oh no, it's not.
And what did she go in? Is that a Book of the Dead?
That is a Book of the Dead.
It is. Look at that.
And it didn't even save her.
It didn't. But hey, it's not that bad. It could be much, much worse. In fact, I think that's just a preferred build for a lot of people. But now red buff is back up. It looks like there might be a little bit of contesting going on. No, it will drop to Hebros this time. Picked up on the Nemesis.
Yeah, they're not mad about getting that, but one thing I am actually curious about is what this Mannequin Scepter is going to turn into. I'm going to hold that thought, though, as that is the Aegis down from Coop. He's getting knocked and pulled all around. The Atlas Ult is not enough to kill him, but instead, Given Lemon's going to be the one to take him down, but now Young Sonic's in a bit of peril. Down they go, and honestly, that Scotty is not getting away either. That's a double for the Huyi. Pull is just off the mark, so that may be the end of the engagement.
That was absolutely nuts coming from late rotation. Just Fishboy is playing phenomenal on this Atlas, really doing what he needs to do. Vamana's going in and is going to ult just to keep them away at bay so they can go ahead and take this tower. I'm not sure why they stayed to defend it, because there wasn't much they could do about it anyways, and that puts them in a position to, well, essentially die. Well, they did get out with their lives, but I'm not entirely sure if they could have stayed with that one. They could have been back doing their siege minions, which have spawned in the back. However, now they're going to go ahead and choose. Tiamat, however, looks like he's getting caught out in the jungle. What is happening over here? Very low. Are they going to be able to catch up? No. Fishboy is there to help zone it out, and Tiamat is going to be able to get away from that engagement. It looks like they might get away scot-free, and Fishboy can... No! The dash is interrupted. He's got nowhere to go, and unfortunately, I believe this is going to be a dead Atlas.
Oh my goodness. That was a
talking.
3-man pull into the Astrolabe. All of them got stunned there, so while we thought Atlas may have fallen down there, instead he is going on back to base, and his Tiamat pal is alive and well all at the same time. Phenomenal stun there from the Atlas. An amazing play thus far.
I'm not allowed to make callouts like that anymore. I can't. I'm wrong every single time. 9 times out of 10. Heck, 19 times out of 20, that Atlas is dead.
Oh,
that was such a perfect 3-person pull. You've got to be kidding me. And now the siege minion coming up on right-hand lane. Late rotations is going to have no issue taking this thing down. What seems to be going in the Hebros' favor early game is greatly shifting towards late rotations right now.
I'll wrap it around here onto the Erlang and the Ganesh, but both of them are going to go away. No pull there for Fishboy. He's got to wait for that cooldown to come back up. But all the while, the pings are coming out on the left-hand side for that Juggernaut. They're all being kept here. No backing is permitted to happen, but that's the dash in from Young Sonics. He's going to pull out the Omen. Everybody gets slowed down. Gamma Ray Burst comes out as well, but Erlang Shen is willing to go in here straight into the Typhoon. Gets knocked up and destroyed there by Lexo. Nice Sun's coming down, but Charlie gets the kill, and the Ganesh is 1 health.
Now he's no health. Double kill onto the Tiamat. Tower is going on, but it shouldn't be able to do enough damage. Is going to be able to get out of there. And there we have the final shot from a Crypto. Very nice. Hentai Boy is going to be put down now. And now they are looking for the last person left on the map. Nemesis. Nemesis. Who is your Nemesis? That is going to be a Crypto.
That is the Deicide. They're going to grab this tier 2 tower, it does seem. Lemon is surely taking a bit of damage here, but they're doing their best. They don't have a lot of time, though, because Scotty is on the way. She's got Calder if she's going to use it, but she is not using it yet. She drops it on the Susana, who does double dash away. He's completely out. I don't think they have any chance of catching either of them.
They're gone. They're out. There's absolutely no way, and that has to be so detrimental looking at this from the side of Hebros. There's nothing worse than watching an enemy run away with 1 HP where you need to land 1 auto to kill them. It's so sad. Now over here on the left, we do have a Tiamat fighting 1v2 right now The nice little Minotaur is going to come out, and it's going to force them to back off and deal with that. Right-hand side, it looks like they are starting to siege up for this nice little siege minion. We'll see who can get it. It looks like Fishboy is really making them zone out, and there should be no problem for late rotations to drop this quickly, as both Susano and Hu Yi is going to be able to do a lot of damage onto that.
Yeah, I mean, Hu Yi's got the crit build going on. He's got a Deathbringer. He's got Atalantis. That's going to be at least a moderate amount of crit coming from him. Unfortunately, not very much attack speed, but it is going to be enough for them to get that. They're going to actually start the fight on DeYoung Sonics here. There could be a teleport in from Susano. He does go in, does a bit of damage, turns back out around, and they're just playing patient, waiting for their Juggernaut to come on through. But it looks like they're going to use it as bait because they're all heading straight to the Pit of Apep.
Yeah, it's definitely the right call to be made. I mean, Hebros have to deal with the siege minion. There's a chance here that Erlang could potentially pin this and get it. It's getting low, they're coming in, but I mean, I don't see them dropping this. We'll see what happens. And oh, there it goes. Look at that. We have Apophis. That's the first Apophis I've seen, at least. That's the first Apophis we've been able to cast for it. I love that. Now, it looks like they're going to be chasing them through the jungle. Hopefully, Hebros are able to just, like, get out of there, except for... No, there's one. Coop, I'm sorry, buddy. That was just not a place for you right there. Now, can we take a moment to look at this Hu Yi's build? Because I'm like, okay, yes. Atalantas, yes. Deathbringer, yes. Wait, what?
Yeah, that is the nature of the random builds, where sometimes you get a little Nemean thrown in there. So that is one block stack every so often that this Hu Yi will be having, and surely it will be very important for all of the other side. I mean, there is a Hydra's on the NEM. They've got Heartseeker, Hydra's, Titan's Bane, so I mean, percent pen going absolutely crazy on the Nemesis. I mean, plus the ultimate, I mean, you don't have any prods against her. Just saying.
No. Now, place your bets right now, Nermy. It looks like there's something going into the Shogun's tier on that Hu Yi. What do you think that final item is going to be?
It could be anything, right?
There it is. There it is. He finished it right there. It was a Shogun's. There it is. I was hoping it was going to be, and it was. Attack speed increased by 30%. What more do you want from life right now if you are this Hu Yi?
Red on Vamana. And that's it.
Maybe.
That's all I want.
Maybe. But, I mean, look at Vamana's build as it is. Okay?
It's insane. That's actually a nuts build.
That's
I'm not
a really good
lie.
Vamana build. You slap hard, you slap fast, you zoom.
Yeah, he is very fast with the hastened and the wing blade. I mean, if he ever gets slowed, I mean, let's think about it. Slow on Scotty, slow on Ganesh. Erlang does not have a slow, but whatever. Nemesis has a slow. She's 2 slows actually, and Hentai Boy does have a slow if he chooses to use it. But really, it's optional. So this Vamana, if given the tools, is going to be making work. But you know who else is working right now? It's this Susano and Tiamat. A double ult's getting thrown on through Gamma Ray Burst just to make sure that they die. Oh gosh, but the teleport in from the Susano is getting everything else done. Dharmic Pillars is panic mode for this elephant. He's got to run away. He's popping the girdle to see if someone can do anything to save this team. But nothing is working out for the Hebros right now.
It's all falling short. They're trying everything they can on Hebros to try and fend off this siege, but they're just not able to do it. The Siege Titan 4 late rotations is in there attacking the Phoenix at half health now. They're not even attacking the Phoenix. They don't care. The shot's coming out. Leox is going to be able to get it with that Tiamat on Corroded. It is now down. I don't know what needs to happen here, but something definitely... Oh, never mind. I know what needs to happen. Susano needs to go a little bit too much. Given lemon, given lime, give a little too much. That's a little unfortunate there. But you know what? Maybe he just wanted to back to base, and that was the quick method to do it.
You know what? Respectable. There needs to be a little bit of Fido dropped here and there in a match, and if Susano's going to do it, he's already level 20. He's got all the items that he really needs at this point. I mean, it's persistent teleport, right? So even when he respawns, they've got wards. He'll get right back into it, no problem.
Exactly. Well, now it looks like both teams are setting up. We got a siege coming on the left, and I do want to say one thing about this Vamana. You made mention of that hasten katana. I've had people tell me multiple times, how do you build a Vamana? And the only thing I say is, get a hasten katana, and it doesn't matter what else you get.
Well... I would beg to differ, but I respect your opinion.
The moral of the story is you can't have a Vamana without a hasting katana. It just does so much work. Nemesis coming over, looking for a gank through the jungle, is going to be spotted out, I believe, however. Yep, and now is going to run for their life underneath the tower. However, we do have a fight breaking out as the tower is taking a bunch of damage. Gamma Ray Burst is coming down. Nothing quite is going to hit the mark. A good pickup, a good chuck. Dharmic Pillars is going to come down. The Suns are going to rain, and a Crypto is going to pick up a kill on Coop. Unfortunately for him, not able for that ultimate to tick off. Now, going up with the siege minion, everyone is low. Hebrews very well trying to descend and finish this off. Nemesis into the back. Charlie is going to drop. A-Smart is doing amazing, taking them out of the fight off of the Phoenix, zoning for the team. I mean, probably going to die here, but very worth to get the reset.
Oh, she got the double dash off, but Susanoo's on the other side. Will the Susanoo get the wraparound? She should be very aware that it's happening, but she doesn't even need to because a Crypto is there, and a Crypto finishes her off. There's still one Phoenix remaining, though, for late rotations. They've got a little bit more work to do if they want to finish this game off strong. They're down their Ramana, but do they even need him if they get this Juggernaut?
Nah, I mean, Vamana's good, but he doesn't need to be present. There's a reason you stick him in the solo lane. It's because you don't want him with the rest of the team for the majority of the game as it is. Now, granted, that is in Conquest, which we are not playing, but the same principle applies. This map has 2 lanes, it has a giant buff thing, and, you know, there might not be a solo lane, but it could be in your heart.
Well, the Juggernaut is running on down that right-hand side, but it looks like the late rotations do not really care. Once again, they're going for Apophis and letting that other Snake Man die as bait. But really, could the Hebrews even contest this? I mean, that is a really scary fight to take, and if they lose that fight, they probably auto-lose the game. So, smart call there from the Hebrews to back off and defend. Just keep those fire minions as pushed out as possible, and hopefully obtain some gold to finish off whatever items are left in their random builds.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hebrews are 11k gold down now, and while that doesn't come into effect so much when it comes to a tournament when you're getting your items online, even if you're getting an item that is just bad on your god, it's still an item that you have up on your opponent. And right now, Hebrews just need to stay back, farm, get that gold, get those they're down in levels, down in gold, they got to get that up. They need to hold off to late game. Everyone hits level 20 eventually. Eventually, they just got to get there, and they need to hold this line.
Well, they can no longer hold the spot where Gamma Ray Burst is taking because down goes the Phoenix. A lot of auto-shim with Animosity, Tiamat doing work, and the Titan is under attack. But will they actually pull it? Huge 9 turns blessing there from the Erling, but he's going to have to turtle out. There comes the Suns there doing tons of damage to the Scotty. She's taken out. Knock up by the Typhoon is doing tons of work, and honestly, I'm not sure that either side really has a huge advantage in these fights.
Hebrews are not going down without a fight, but this is such a group up, a good slice and dice, but not enough. Double kill going onto that Tiamat. It is now just Sonics and Hentai Boy to like starve off this attack. I don't know if they can. The Titan's dropping down. It's at half health right now.
Oh my gosh.
It's gone. Never mind. It's not at half health. It's already gone. Late rotations.
It's the crit Vamana.
Yeah, you know, we should have seen this coming. Late rotations. they were late in the early game. They didn't show up at first. Hebrews got the lead, and then late rotations went, all right, fine, I'm coming.
And they sure did. They sure did.
They did. What a game. What a game. Congratulations to the Hebrews and late rotations. That was really nice. Late rotations will be moving on to the final round. Hebrews will be going to the next third place round where they will face off against whoever won the other side of the bracket. Look at all of those items. What's your favorite build on this one, Lermy?
I mean, again, I'm repping the crit Vamana, right? But let's just say I'm not. I mean, Tiamat's build is just straight up standard, aside from the animosity, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I would say is not necessarily standard on that one is the Divine Ruin first item. I'm actually curious into that one, but because there's not a whole lot of healing. It's Erlang Shen's ult.
Nemesis has got some healing as well, and I mean, it kind of depends, you know, what you're counting on, if you're worried about that war flag at all. I mean, there is also a Jotun's Vigor coming up on that Scotty, so I'm not mad about it at all. And plus, just standard sustain, like especially with that med, it's not bad, right? Flat pen, beginning of the game, always it feels good.
Yeah, no, regardless, it was an entertaining game to watch. I really did enjoy it. Both teams, thank you on that one. And with that, guys, don't go anywhere, because coming up next, we're going to have our third place match where we find out who is going to take home the bronze. And with that, Popo and Vengeance will be back for that one. So stay tuned, guys, and we will return.